everyone. I just told my kids, I said, I'm going to do a live stream. And Megan said, I thought you weren't going to do those anymore. But hey, I did promise in my 10 reasons you should subscribe to my YouTube channel video, which if you haven't watched it, you really ought to go back and watch it. And you should especially go back and watch it if you're not quite sure how to subscribe to a YouTube channel, or if you don't know what exactly subscribing to a YouTube channel means. But anyway, I said in that video that one of the reasons is that I do a monthly live stream. So I thought I would still at least stick with the monthly live streams for now and see how it goes. Okay, it's April 2020, and I wanted to check in and see how everybody's doing. And I thought I would share and discuss, if people join in, the good and bad of the staying at home thing, okay? So I know that there is not it's called different things in different places. Here in Wisconsin, it's called the Safer at Home order that our governor ordered to stay at home. And the general idea is that you stay home unless you are an essential worker and have to go to a job that you have to go to, or you have some essential need, like going to the pharmacy or the grocery store to get food, or going somewhere to get food, or like medical appointments. And then you can go outside to get exercise outside, but you're supposed to basically stay close to home and keep your distance from people. That everybody has where you live. And this is like true in other countries too. I do know that as of yesterday, I saw that there were 9 states that still don't have anything like this in place. And I saw some memes and stuff about people who think that that's not a very good idea, because if not everybody has them in place, then they could still travel around. So what do you guys think about that? I've seen this map, and maybe some of you have seen it, that shows they analyzed people's cell phone usage and like maybe their GPS location in their cell phones of the United States, and they were able to track which parts of the country were doing a good job of staying at home and which ones weren't. And the whole region around the Great Lakes, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, New York, Pennsylvania, I think, is the best area of the country that's doing the best job of staying at home and staying close to home. So yes. The area of the country that is doing the worst was kind of straight down the middle west. So you guys, and several of the states that are in that region do not have any kind of orders. Unfortunately, I have read that that is not constitutional. The President of the United States does not have the authority or the ability to lock down the entire country like other countries do. It's just too big and impractical, and it's an issue of states' rights and stuff like that. So, okay, let's talk about some of the good things about staying at home. What are you enjoying or liking about staying at home? Okay. Hi, Cider. My 2 kids that are home with me and I are introverts. Okay, now I want to say something about that. Even introverts, some of this is hard, because when you are a true introvert, you are refreshed and rejuvenated and yeah, and energized by time alone. And there's a couple of things about this situation that actually are not very introvert friendly. Number one is the 3 of us are together all the time now. So we're together 24/7. So like times when the kids like would have been gone to school and I maybe would have been home alone, or maybe like Megan would have been at rehearsal and Ben and I would have been here by ourselves or whatever, we don't have that anymore. So I've seen like a little funny thing that says introverts want the pandemic to be over so that everybody else in their house will leave. Yeah, your siblings fight all the time. Are they older or younger than you, Cider? I guess I don't even know. And how many siblings do you have? So how many people live in your house? How many people are you doing this with? Um, and how many people are sharing the resources with you? Your middle child's 2 siblings, so that's like Megan. But Andrew's so much older. He's 8 years older than Megan. So there's a big gap there, and so there wasn't the same sibling rivalry with my kids because there's a pretty big gap between them. The other thing about introverts that this situation is not ideal for is we're being bombarded with information. Like, Meg, you don't usually get this many emails. Never. She never gets this many emails. I mean, we're just constantly getting emails and stuff for school and all of this kind of thing, and just getting bombarded with information constantly. I mean, like, I remember on March 12th, which was a Thursday, that day I felt, and that's the day that the World Health Organization declared it a pandemic. That day, I felt so bombarded with information. And I remember that was the day I actually felt a sense of great urgency. And I went to pick up, yeah, I went to pick up the kids from school, and I picked up Ben, and I said, oh no, you had rehearsal, didn't you, Megan? Yes, I was only picking up Ben. And I said, we're going to go get your hair cut right now. And he's like, okay. And I said, because I don't think we're going to be able to do it any longer, which I was right. And so we went and got his hair cut. And I mean, your hair is already getting kind of long, isn't it, Ben? He's just going to let it grow. So, the girls were fine. It'll be down to, however long. But we're going to watch the transformation of Ben's hair over time and see how that looks. But anyway, and I remember thinking on that Friday, the 13th, I really wasn't comfortable sending my kids to school that day, but they did go. We still had school on that Monday and Tuesday, the 16th and 17th, but I kept my kids home. Your hair is the longest it's ever been in your entire lifetime. So that's 2 things that are not very introvert friendly about this situation. Okay, but we are very much we don't mind this at all. We really don't. We do not mind this at all because we like being home and we like being with each other. And one funny thing is we have said to each other several times now, I'm so glad I'm stuck with you guys. Like, we're very happy that it's the 3 of us. We'd like it if Andrew was here too, don't you think, guys? Yeah. Like, we'd like it if Andrew was here too, but he's in his own house and he's got his 3 roommates and they're all doing fine too. But so your school closed before ours then. You're in a bigger metropolitan area though, aren't you, Cider? Aren't you kind of in the greater DC area? Anyway, but and I wonder if bigger cities were kind of shutting down faster. But what was I saying? But we can think of people that we wouldn't want to be stuck with, and so I'm glad about that. But we don't mind this at all because it's really not that big of a change. And even like I was thinking about the thing with travel. I know like a lot of cruise vloggers especially had like yeah, I can see that. I know a lot of cruise vloggers had like 5, 6, 7 cruises booked for this year. And they've just been, Ben and David is an example. Emma Cruises, she's another one. And their cruises have just gotten canceled. And they're really sad. Ben from Ben and David, he even got semi-quarantined, stuck on a ship in Dubai. You can go back and watch Ben's videos about that on Cruise with Ben and David. But he was alone. David couldn't get off work. And Ben was, the ship only ended up being a 1-night cruise, and they had to turn around and he flew home. But I don't think that'll happen. The humidity destroy the virus. I don't think that's going to make any difference at all. If you look at the flu pandemic of 1918, 1919, it started in March. I mean, this technically started in December, November even, but here in the US, it really started in March. And everybody thought it was like, oh, it's good now, it's over the summer. And then as soon as they lessened, everybody started going back to things. and everybody started going back to school and all that, it got really, really bad again in October. And the most people of that pandemic died in October because they're like, oh, it's done. It's not done. And it lasted until the next summer. So I don't think the virus doesn't care about the weather. The virus just wants a host. As long as the virus has a host, it doesn't care. Not that it has thoughts and feelings, but so anyway, we don't mind this. But what I was saying about travel is we're lucky if we get to go on one big trip a year. So our teachers still did that, Sai. They did it distance learning. He's saying that his teachers were supposed to have a training on that Monday after school closed to learn how to do the distance learning. Our teachers had to do that too, but they all did it from their own houses. So, yeah. So the distance learning for our schools is actually starting tomorrow. So we've had 2 full weeks because of what I kept my kids home. So basically 2 full weeks if you count today and yesterday and the 3 days before our spring break, 2 full weeks of break, during which our schools really weren't expecting kids to do anything. They did send home like some resources. I mean, like put online some resources that they could do if they wanted to, but nothing was really required. A couple teachers had a couple of required things, but I actually took the initiative, since I am a teacher, to actually set up some activities and schedule and assignments and things for my kids to do. So my kids have been doing school for this entire time, these last 3 weeks, but not the middle one because that was spring break. So we took a break. But starting tomorrow, they are going to have actual stuff from their own teachers coming home every day that they have to do. So from there until I'm sure the end of the school year, that's what they'll be doing. So I get to kind of take a step back. I did make a Excel spreadsheet or a Google Sheets. Is that what they're called? I made a Google Sheet so the kids can keep track of their work for each class, so I can kind of make sure that they're staying on task and getting everything done that they need to. And Megan even said, we're lucky, Mom, that you do that, because like a lot of kids aren't going to have that. Their parents just aren't even going to pay attention at all, and they're probably going to struggle. But yeah. So yes, going back to what you're saying about the travel, since we only get to go on like 1, maybe 2 trips a year anyway, the disappointment over not getting to do anything. I mean, obviously Megan's France trip getting canceled is a huge disappointment because she's been looking forward to that, and it was a lot of money and saving for that for a very, over a year, I think, right, Meg? Yeah, I mean, that's a huge disappointment. Now, it's not officially canceled. It's not happening in June. The way they've left it is they're trying to reschedule it. Yeah. But I don't know what that means. I would really think that would have to mean at least a year from now, like next summer. So, but that's where they left it, and we haven't heard anything since then. We watched the baby chickens. Were you doing chickens for school? Tell your mom that substitute teachers can apply for unemployment. I just found that out. Do you think Disney will open by October? Or Busch Gardens by Oktoberfest? Maybe. That's a possibility. I don't know. It's really hard to say. A terrible job of it's huge numbers of people, and it's very, very underreported how many people actually have it. The deaths are underreported. I don't know. It's hard to say because, I mean, I saw a thing today that we need to be at like 90% of people staying home all the time to have this go away within a month. Okay? If 90% of the people stay home I think this was actually from the UK, but if 90% of the people stay home all the time, you're going to China tomorrow? We'll see, but China just lifted their restrictions. But think about that. China, patient zero in China was in November, actually. So December, January, February, March, April, it's actually been 5 months that China's really been having it go on. So if you think about that, yeah, China lifted their restrictions and their tourist sites are getting just slammed with people. So I'm a little nervous that China might have like a resurgence again because so many people are going out and going to these tourist sites. They might have to rein it back in a little bit. But yeah, so 5 months. So if you think about that, so if you think that like restrictions in the US didn't really start till March, July, August, you're looking at through the summer minimum, I think, before they can even like realistically lift any restrictions. That's what I would say. I mean, and it's still not going to be over. There's not going to be a vaccine. I read an article the other day. Even Dr. Fauci saying the vaccine maybe 12 to 18 months. That's like wishful thinking. I looked at how long it takes them to make vaccines, actually test them and have them ready. It's years. It's years and years. Like the fastest they ever come up with vaccines is like 6 years or something like that. And that's like if it's really good and lucky. So, I mean, I think that we're going to be able to start doing things again before that. But you're from Germany. Oh, did you really? Julius, when did you do that? Julius did his exchange here in Wisconsin at Shanghai. Did we meet? Is it recently? I'm just curious. Okay, so anyway, the travel thing, it's not as disappointing for us. I mean, obviously, I might have met you. It's obviously disappointing about Megan's France trip, but because we're used to having to wait a long time to go places anyway, it's not as big of a deal for us as it would be for I kind of remember actually. Um, Wait, so okay, Julius, clarify. You're in Germany now, right? Are you in Germany right now? At home? Okay, you're going to China tomorrow. Where can I ask where are you going in China? Oh, that's interesting, Cider. Cider's saying that the community on YouTube that you don't require going out are flourishing. Yeah. Anything like at home, I saw like the hashtag at home, those videos are doing really well. Travel videos aren't doing well at all. Does Germany not have restrictions about international travel? Your borders aren't closed. Can you? I'm just kind of curious about that. I mean, I can see now that China might let people in, but I'm curious that Germany doesn't want people not to travel. Yeah. So, okay, anyway, the things that I kind of like about this whole situation and that I'm hoping will continue after this is all over, I love how many people are out taking walks. And we go for walks, but I mean, I just love how many people are out. Oh, okay. So it probably has a work exception. Yeah, okay. Um, just seeing families out taking walks and bike rides and stuff like that. I really hope that that's something that will continue. I mean, we have a very walk-friendly neighborhood here. And so a lot of people walk around here anyway. We have nice sidewalks and stuff, but your dog went up fast. That's nice for your dog. And I was saying that too. We've lost weight. All three of us have lost weight. And I'm going to come back to that. I think it has to do with food, but we've actually lost weight. And whereas people were saying like, oh, the quarantine 15, you're getting like the freshman 15, but we've actually all lost weight. So anyway, I hope that the whole walking thing continues. The other thing that I really hope that continues from this is like families spending time together and doing like creative things together and like enjoying each other's company and stuff like that. They have to leave the supermarkets overside because otherwise how would people get food? But I kind of agree with you on that. I think way too many people are going out shopping for food way more frequently than they really need to. Yeah, exactly. I I mean, now a lot of the grocery stores are taking very good measures to, like, they're putting tape on the floor and they're putting plexiglass things up in front of the cashiers and stuff. But I feel like they waited way too long to do that. I feel like they should have done that way earlier. So there are multiple places that you can get groceries delivered from, or you can get curbside pickup. I almost feel like they should make that required instead of letting people go to the store. But I saw some people saying like, oh, I don't like doing that because I want to pick out my own meat, or I want to, they don't want other people picking out the stuff for them. So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you think about this, like, I keep thinking about this, like, in comparison to like World War II and how much I'm not sure that the people of this generation of today would have done very well then. There were a lot more restrictions on things then than there are now. And I feel like people now, I don't think they would have survived. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. No time to pick the perfect meat. I mean, you would have had rations and you get what you get, And I said to somebody today, because now they've said this week and the next couple weeks, you really shouldn't be going to the store at all. And we are getting alarmingly low on food. And I felt like I've gone to the store twice since this started, and I thought I bought a lot of food. I really did. I spent more on groceries than the first time I actually went into the store. I went late at night when I thought it would be pretty empty, and it was okay. The second time I got curbside pickup. Yeah, no kidding. They had radios. They didn't even have TV cider. And when I got the curbside pickup, I thought I got a lot of stuff. And the time that I went to the store, the first time I went, I spent more on groceries than I've spent since there were 5 of us living in this house. But the thing is that we are going through food so fast because we're home all the time. And normally, right now, we would be eating lunch 5 days a week at school. And we're not doing that. So, and, we might be like going out to eat maybe once a week or something. And so I can't believe how fast we're going through food. And I can't get a pickup time to go get curbside pickup. They're all taken. And I got up at 6:30 this morning to try to get one, and they were gone already for the next 2 days. So we're not eating very much because our food is kind of limited, and that might have something to do with why we're actually losing weight. Yeah. So, I mean, we're basically eating like maybe we breakfast and a little something for breakfast, and then I'm making lunch and I make dinner, but and then like maybe we'll eat like one small snack in the afternoon, and that's it. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's one negative thing. I do think that the grocery thing is a negative, challenging part of this. And other than that, can you think, I mean, obviously we don't want people to be getting sick and dying. That's obviously a negative part of all this. And I am worried about like my dad who has an essential job and is out there. But other than that, that's only really and there's disappointment over things that have been canceled. I thought we were maybe going to get to do something at spring break. We do not have any N95 masks. Hey, Dan, bring me the masks there so I can show them. Man, can you grab these? Wow, they're not very cooperative. We did not have anything. We don't even have any bandanas or anything. So, and I tried yesterday to tie a scarf around my face, and it won't stay on. It just falls right off. And I'm like, well, that's not going to do me any good. And so a very kind friend, somebody I used to work with, is making masks. Where'd you get the N95 masks? Where did you get those? Did you already have them? So she's making masks, and she made us these 3 masks and dropped them off at my house yesterday. So, and we each picked, she made them in different colors. So we each picked, this one's Megan's and this one's mine. We haven't actually worn them yet. So I haven't even tried them, like tried it on. And then this one's Ben's. So we have just the 3. You had 800 of them. Oh my gosh. Oh, her office, your grandma's office. So yeah. That's nice. But yeah, my mom ordered us some masks, like the regular, like surgical masks. Yeah, this was super nice of her to do this for us. But and she dropped them off last night. And she lives in the next town, so that was really nice. My mom ordered some surgical masks for us. Hi, thanks for joining. Is it Jason or Kelly or both of you? She ordered some for us, but they are gonna take like a month to get here. So I'm really thankful that she bought. I mean, honestly, I can't even think of when I'm going to use these because they said, like, if you're outside exercising, like if you're out on a walk or something, you don't need it. As long as you can maintain that distance from people, you don't need to wear one. That it's only really like, I mean, the main thing, I guess, would be if you're going to the grocery store. But I really don't feel comfortable going into the store and really plan on only doing curbside pickup. So I don't think that, I really honestly can't think of when I'm going to need it. But I just wanted to make sure I had something in case we do need it. The one thing that we're kind of wondering about is we've got some medical appointments coming up. And we kind of think we're probably going to have to reschedule them. The clinic, Megan had that little minor surgery I told you guys about in a previous live stream, and we went and got her stitches out. And the day we went to get the stitches out, we had to walk through a tent, and they asked us questions, and they took our temperature under our tongues. And I didn't see, because we both passed the screening, and so we got to go in. And I didn't see if you had a temperature or if you answered yes to any of the questions that they asked, which were things like, do you have a cough? Or, they asked things like that. Good question. Sai, I'm going to come back to that. You got 2 gallons of hand sanitizer. Wow. Our grocery store only lets in 10 people at a time. Oh, wow. Yeah, my dad at Walmart, he says they're now counting the people that they let in, and only so many people. He actually told me the number, but it was a huge number. But it includes the employees. But he says it's about 1/3 of what normally would be in the store at a time. And it's based on the square footage. They can only have so many people per square footage in the store at one time. And they made all the aisles one way. So people can only go one way. Okay. They aren't wanting people to go to the doctor here unless they are very, very sick and non-COVID. Okay. So the clinic that we went to get Megan's stitches out is not a place that sick people would be going. It's all the specialists, like, my cardiologist is in there. My podiatrist is in there. The dermatologist is in there. The opticians for glasses is in that building. There's no primary care in that particular clinic. And they moved, the urgent care used to be in there, but they moved it over to the new hospital when they built the new hospital. And so, okay, 2 people diagnosed yesterday and they were told not to come in. Yeah. I mean, they're saying if you at home, which most people should be able to do, there is no reason to go to the doctor. They're not going to be able to do anything for you anyway. So unless you get so sick that you're like your life is in danger, and then you're still supposed to call first and they'll tell you where to go. But anyway, I didn't see when we went that stitches out if you had answered yes to any of those questions or if you had a temperature. I kind of wonder if those people then got a test. But I'm not sure. But anyway, so she got her stitches out. Everybody in the clinic was masked, from the check-in reception lady to the nurse who took her stitches out to the doctor who came and gave us her pathology report. But Megan and I both have our annual physical scheduled for June. and I have my mammogram, and I really don't think I want to go to my mammogram because that's very close contact. And I'm not sure about, yeah, August maybe side, maybe it would be okay. We're just not sure about our June, and our clinics, some of them are actually closed. My dentist is closed. The dentist we all go to is closed. So we can't go to the dentist anyway. I called to reschedule my April appointment and found out it was closed. And it had you leave a message. And somebody called me back really quick, like within 15 minutes, and said, "Hi, yes, we'll reschedule that for you." And they didn't reschedule me till September for the dentist. So, yeah. Okay, are you still thinking of your 2021 timeline? Yes and no. I'm not saying that travel won't happen before the late. No problem. Thanks, guys. I'm not saying that there won't be any travel before that. I just don't think realistically it's still going to be risk-free. Does that make sense? And especially with cruises and air travel, I really think there's going to be some limitations. And a lot of people have made videos about this because there's going to have to be a lot of other things that happen. Because right now, nobody will let cruise ships dock anywhere. So if you can't go anywhere, and cruises to nowhere, which is where you would just go out to sea and sail around in the ocean and come back, those aren't legal anymore. So yeah, I know. I don't know if there's any ships with people on them out anymore. They might have gotten everybody back. There were still a couple of days ago, but I think everything might have docked. I actually check a website citer called Sea Mapper, Sea Scanner. It shows on a big world map where every ship is in the world. And it's the freakiest looking thing right now because they're all around the coasts. Because they're all either docked or anchored right offshore. There are not enough berths in the world for all the ships that exist. And so a lot of them have to anchor offshore. There's a whole bunch of ships anchored together off of the coast of the Bahamas. And if you look at that map, you can see them all anchored together there. They've actually had to emergency evac some crew members off of a couple of ships that are anchored out there to hospitals that have the virus and had to go to the hospital because they're anchored out in the middle of the ocean and there's nothing they can do for them. Yeah, go ahead, Sai. What's your question? I got totally off track anyway, if there was even a focus. What was your least favorite cruise destination and why? I kind of talked about this in my I did a video on ranking my cruise destinations. What did I say was my least favorite in that one? San Juan? I think it was San Juan in Puerto Rico. But I think the reason that was my least favorite was more because of my lack of planning and that we didn't have anything to, is that what I said? Yeah. We didn't have anything planned to do there. And so I didn't know what there was to do. So yeah, it wasn't, I'm not opposed to going back to San Juan and visiting it again. I would do a better job this time of making sure I plan ahead and figure out what I'm doing ahead of time. Does anybody else have any questions? I really wanted to keep this under 30 minutes and I've already gone over 30 minutes, but I just wanted to check in with everybody and see how everybody was doing and talk about good and bad things about the having to stay home all the time. We so far haven't really been bored. I mean, we've been able to keep ourselves pretty entertained and busy. Oh, great news. Ben's channel met the qualifications for monetization. He has over 1,000 subscribers and he got his 4,000 public watch hours. Hiking is awesome. So he could technically be monetized now. He got a community tab, which was really cool. He can't though because he's under 18. And because he's under 18, he cannot get an AdSense account. He would have to be linked to my AdSense account. And I cannot get an AdSense account until I get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. I have no concern at all about getting the 4,000 watch hours. I'm actually not that far away from that. So I really, really need that 1,000. It's not just for me, it's for him too. Please stay tuned. I've got more videos already uploaded, edited, already up for the next, and some more that we're going to be doing. I know that it's a bummer when it's a travel channel and we can't actually show you places, but I'm trying to be creative and come up with cool ideas for you. Yeah, I think I will get 300 pretty soon. So please keep watching because we have some more cool stuff coming up. And our April Universal Yums box will be coming up. I have some more videos already done. What was I going to say? But as I promise, as soon as we can go places, I will be out there again, going places and filming stuff for you guys to see and enjoy. If nothing else, I'll probably get us back to the Dells because people really love those Wisconsin Dells videos. So thank you guys so much for joining me today for this live stream. If you have any additional comments or questions, yeah, I thought of that, Sai. I thought about filming. Cider, do you follow me on Instagram? It's Heather Travels the World on Instagram. Oh, it's okay, little Pinky. Thanks, Pinky. Thank you for joining it all. I did not pre-plan any videos because I thought we were going to be going somewhere for spring break and I was going to be filming that. Bummer. Yeah, follow me on Instagram, Heather Travels the World. I posted some pictures not too long ago. We went out. There's a big lake near where we live, and it's a fake lake. I mean, it wasn't there. It's a man-made lake. That's what I'm trying to say. So there is a very large dam that was built in the 19 teens, to make that lake so that they could generate electricity. It's a hydroelectric dam. And gives us all of our electricity. And anyway, it's spring and everything's melting. And I posted some cool pictures. We went out there and walked around. You can walk around on there. And it was pretty intense. There was some major water. And I thought about filming when we went out there. I said, hey, guys, should I film this? And they said, no, let's just walk. And so we were just hiking around and stuff. And I didn't film anything. But if we do something like that again where it's interesting and outside, I probably will film because I'm going to run out of ideas eventually unless something else occurs to me. And it's very important to me that I still give you guys a video every Friday at least. So if you haven't watched last Friday's video about cool movies to watch, please check that one out. It's not doing very well. But my video about when do I think we'll be able to travel again is doing awesome. I don't think I've had any video get that many views that fast as that one has done. I put that out like 2-3 weeks ago. So if you haven't watched that one, go back and watch that one too. So thank you everyone for joining me today. And I hope you enjoyed this quick little live stream for April. Stay tuned. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I thank you guys for joining and have a great day and safe travels.